Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, we don't call them the fake news for nothing. We call them fake news because it's true and they prove us right over and over and over again. It's non-stop. And it's not like I don't have any perspective. You know, some people might say, well, you know, it's tough for the media to always get the story right. No, not really. It actually isn't. And they have editors in place and checkpoints in place to verify information. If you're paying attention, you can make certain mistakes at some points. I've made little mistakes here and there and issued corrections or taken down videos, and usually it's something kind of insignificant, doesn't really matter. But in the case of the media, they're constantly promoting stories that are so easily debunkable. It's almost as if they're totally incompetent, or they know that they're pushing fake news and they just don't care because narrative comes first. And a lot of the times it's not just minor little mistakes, it's destructive fake news that has possibly devastating consequences. It's something that they shouldn't be doing. It's something they should never do. And the idea that we should just cut them some slack, it's a real hard job, is complete bogus. The media has become corrupt and incompetent. And here we go yet again, another incident of exactly that, where the narrative seems more important than the truth. We got a little incident to cover here with Forbes.com pushing straight up slanderous fake news involving the whole crypto FTX US nonsense. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so take a look at this piece right over here from instapundit.com. Great moments in journalism. Yesterday, Forbes published a piece headlined, Queen Caroline, the fake charity nerd girl behind the FTX collapse, which was promoted with this tweet. Alameda Research CEO Caroline Ellison is a math whiz who loves Harry Potter and taking big risks. She is also one of the supporting players in Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX catastrophe. Quote, and a new darling of the alt-right. Now, this has to be paid for shill fake news journalism. We have covered all of the facts here. In fact, I'm pretty sure even Forbes in the past has reported and written pieces on the connection between Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, and the Democrat Party. He's their second top donor. His family has deep ties to left-wing activist groups in the DNC. Ellison's family as well, connected through MIT. These are connected top Democrat donors who are allegedly funneling money towards various Democrat causes and activist groups. That is something that is not disputed. Yet here Forbes goes, trying to rewrite history, claiming that Caroline Ellison is a new darling of the alt-right. Here's the passage from the article on how Ellison is a new darling of the alt-right. In recent days, Ellison has faced a barrage of particularly nasty criticism from crypto boosters who blame her for overseeing the downfall of Alameda. But amid the vitriol, she has found some defenders in an unlikely group of people who have celebrated the musings about race science and imperialism on a blog she allegedly wrote in college. Some of her defenders, who call her Queen Caroline, are followers of Curtis Yarvin, a neo-reactionary political theorist and far-right darling. Many of the people who have flocked to Ellison's defense gather on Urban, a peer-to-peer platform created by Yarvin. One of her online supporters told Forbes they think Ellison was set up to be the fall person and claim that the former CEO, Sam Trabucco, who they derisively call Sam Tabasco, is behind Alameda's implosion. Trabucco didn't respond to multiple requests for comment. I definitely think she's innocent, one said. I think Caroline can be saved. Now, that's all fine and dandy. It's a beautiful theory, but the question is it true? Well, you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like another 4chan troll that's easily debunkable. That sounds clearly ridiculous. And, well, it seems as though my instincts are correct on this one. We've got this from John Stokes on Twitter. This is amazing. The quote source for this alt-right darling of Urbit thing was trolling them and is now tweeting about it. We're at Rahul Ligma levels of journalism here. Here's a DM that he links between the supposed source and Forbes. Hi, my name is Redacted, and I'm a reporter at Forbes. We're working on a story about the happenings at FTX in Alameda, and we want to write about Caroline Ellison in a nuanced way, given all the criticism she is receiving after Alameda's bankruptcy. In other words, this person is probably being paid to write a narrative piece. I'd love to talk to some of her supporters and saw your tweets. Do you have a second to chat today? The individual trolling this journalist writes, hey, yeah, I'm a supporter supporter of Queen Caroline, could be interested but concerned about how your piece might make her look. Then we have an individual claiming to be the source on Twitter who links the piece and writes, "It's called We Do a Little Trolling." And apparently the evidence that Forbes is using is based on this Urbit chat log that's supposedly Caroline Ellison. "I didn't do anything wrong. It was all Sam Tabasco, that little effer. How anyone could trust his face is beyond me. Well, he's good in bed, but I didn't know anything about the shadiness until it was too late." There is zero evidence to suggest that this is Caroline Ellison. And with the whole Sam Tabasco thing, it clearly seems like an orchestrated 4chan troll. Forbes is running a story trying to frame this whole FTX thing as being connected to the alt-right and the far-right, based on an anonymous Twitter troll who claimed to have seen something on Urbit. This is journalism in 2022. No facts, just narrative. You have a story that's released that's potentially damaging to the Democrat brand or exposing some sort of deep-seated corruption, a scandal involving a fraud on a massive scale in the DNC. Well, quick, let's try to reframe this thing as being connected to the alt-right. How does this make it through the checks and balances that are supposedly at giant publications like Forbes? How is it that you have a massive office full of all kinds of people, with editors and people at the top who are supposed to be looking at this stuff, scrutinizing it before it gets released? How is it that in a situation like that, this could happen? Why is it that a small little YouTube channel like mine that has a fraction of the reach of some of these publications, and I'm literally one guy just recording videos and doing research, sitting at home in my little condo drinking my coffee, why is it that I can do a better job at isolating the facts? It's ridiculous. And of course, this comes right off the heels of the whole Rahul Ligma story, and it just shows you that the media isn't interested in facts, they're only interested in crafting a story and a narrative. In fact, journalists are so incredibly clueless of the facts and what's really going on that many hosts and reporters still haven't realized that Rahul Ligma and his friends, supposed Twitter employees, were trolls.
I mean, what do you think this is about? Is it because he has created such a poor working environment and has ruined the relationship between him and his employees so much that he's not able to do the job? Because I saw him, he was tweeting out pictures of him standing with two employees who had fired prematurely and then rehired with his arms around them, kind of like, hey, I know I shouldn't admit to my mistakes. It seems like he's in a desperate situation where he's realized he actually needs somebody, and the single genius myth is just that, a myth, and he actually needs these employees to work for him. And the employees didn't look so happy in that photograph, I gotta say.
It's completely disgraceful. These clean-cut people, highly educated, went to school, studied journalism, worked in the world of corporate journalism. They know everything. They're educated. They know the facts. You're not qualified. They're a bunch of clowns who don't know how to do even a little bit of research. They're a bunch of clowns who don't understand the facts of what they speak of, yet they pretend to be the authority. It's an absolute joke, and maybe it's done by design. Maybe it's just gullible, trained people who don't have the ability to critically think who are being hired, and then just being used as mules, as puppets, by the puppet masters who control the networks. That's what I think's really going on here. Just like all the leftoids we constantly see who just push narratives without even a second thought. But yet again, another deeply embarrassing moment for the corporate media as Forbes gets pranked. That's what I got for you guys, though. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.